Hey, I'm so happy you're here. And just want to say welcome to all of the replay viewers while we're waiting for the live people to come on. I am happy that you are watching this on replay. My name is Pam Barnhill, and I am a homeschooling mom of 3 pretty wonderful kids. They were pretty wonderful today. We did actually our first day of school today. I know it's crazy. I'm going to mute that computer so it doesn't interrupt us. I know it sounds crazy because it's June 6th, but oh my gosh, it's so hot here where we live. And I like to school while it's hot. And we've had 6 weeks off, and we're kind of, you know, starting to go a little stir crazy. And so we start school now, and then we just take more breaks during the school year as the school year goes along and the weather gets nicer. So if you find me over here yawning, it's because I made myself get up early this morning to get the school year off to a really good start. So, not only do I have 3 kids, I have 3 homeschooling podcasts as well. I have the Homeschool Snapshots podcast, which is interviews with other homeschoolers all about what their day and their homeschool is like. I also have the Your Morning Basket podcast, which is all about morning time in your homeschool, and then the Homeschool Solution Show, which is an audio blog of the best homeschool content on the web, streaming straight to your earbuds every Friday. And so we stay pretty busy with all of that stuff, and we're here on Facebook every Thursday afternoon on the Homeschool Solutions with Pam Barnhill Facebook page, doing Facebook Live at 2:45 Central, and we always have a topic that we're talking about. And today we are closing out. It's been a long 11-week road. 11 weeks. It's a 10 steps to homeschool planning, but it took us 11 weeks because we took 1 week off and went to the beach in the middle of the whole series. But anyway, we are, I just got a message that is distracting me. I am so sorry. And I'm not sure what it is. And I'm just going to have to like block it out. I'm a mom. I can handle distraction, can't I? So anyway, 10 weeks planning series. How are you guys doing? And I'm not seeing comments. I do not know why the comments are not scrolling through. I can see that a couple of people joined. I can see that there are people watching, but there aren't any comments, which makes me really sad because I love to talk to you guys. And so hopefully they will show up. I am going to pop over here on Facebook on the computer and see if I can get comments to pull up over here. So let me just let that reload. And see if I can get that to happen, because I'm getting no comments at all on the phone, very sadly. Okay, so now I can see some stuff. A few comments anyway. It's opening it up. So sorry for the delay. Okay, so maybe some more comments will actually pop up over here on Facebook, and I can see them because they're not showing on my phone. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you about today, so step 10 of homeschool planning is all about planning your day. And so what are the steps that you need to go through in order to create a plan for your homeschool day? And I am not the kind of person that, you know, I don't say, at 8 o'clock we're going to do this, and at 8:15 we're going to do this, and at 8:30 we're going to do this. That's not how I do it. I know that there are some people who do like to work that way, and I think if that works for you, great. Go for it. We like to do things like, we're going to be started by 8:30. That's our goal, is to be started by 8:30. And then for the first hour or for the first 30 minutes or whatever, we're going to work on X, Y, or Z. And then we're going to do morning time, and then we're going to, you know, move into something else. And so we like to have these large blocks of time when we work. But I go over a number of options and a number of different ways that you could do this in the Plan Your Year Planning Guide, and you can find that at planyouryear.net. What I want to talk to you about today on the Facebook Live, though, is when do you start school? And you may notice, I told you earlier that we started today, and a lot of you are probably like, this is really crazy, lady. It's July 6th. It's a holiday week. It's a Thursday. Why in the world would you start school, you know, on a day like today? And there is a very specific reason for why we did this. And this is because, okay, I'm seeing comments again. This is because, let me see, I'm going to pull this out and maybe the comments will scroll up. There we go. Okay, now I can see them. I have 2 days to do school, and then I have a weekend. And that is exactly why I started on a Thursday. So if you start school on a Monday, you have 5 days of school to do before you get your very first weekend. But me, I only have 2, and I finished one of those today. And so that means I've only got 1 more day of school this week, and then I get to take a break. I get a weekend. I don't have to, you know, I don't have to keep chugging away for a full 5-day week. And I very, very much do this on purpose. The other thing we did is we did not start with a full schedule. So we started today with skills-based work. And there's some families who take this to an even deeper degree than what we do. Some mom told me today on social media, I think it was on Instagram, that she started with just math. And that's what she starts with. And I think that's great. We actually started with a little bit more. We actually started with all skill subjects today. So we did reading and spelling and math and handwriting. But we did not do history and science or anything like that. And honestly, we will do those subjects throughout the entire month of July, through the rest of July. And we will start with all of the other subjects when August rolls around. And it just so happens to work out for us because of our co-op. But in years where we have not done co-op, we have actually ramped up to the school year. So one of the things you could do is start in your first 2 or 3 days, do maybe 2 or 3 subjects, and then after that, moving into the next week, the next 3 or 4 days, you add a couple more subjects on there, and at the next week you add a couple more subjects on there, until finally about week 4 or 5 you're actually at a full schedule. But you're not wearing yourself out as you're adding all of these subjects in. You're not trying to start by doing every single thing at one time. And so I think that's probably, you know, probably one of the better tips is to please don't start on a Monday. Okay, I'm going to look over here because that's going to give me some of your questions and answers. Sherry wants to know, what ages do I do handwriting with? Until your handwriting stops looking like a serial killer. That's how long you do handwriting. My daughter is going into 7th grade, and she's still doing cursive handwriting this year. So she's still practicing that. And I love it because the little book she's using, we're using one of the Good and Beautiful handwriting books. And it actually has her, in the middle of her cursive page, there was actually a sentence for her to copy and print. So she gets that practice with copy and print. So somebody said high school, we dive right into the deep end. You can, but you can also ramp up in high school. There's no reason in the world. And if you look at school districts across the nation, there are a lot of school districts that actually begin the school year on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, even for high school students. And the reason they do that is because they want to work a couple days and then take a couple days off. Dawn says they transitioned from learning handwriting to copying the Bible. Sherry, yes, I still need handwriting practice. Sometimes I try to be really neat when I'm writing in my commonplace book. Let me see. Somebody asked about Sabbath schooling. Martha asked about Sabbath schooling. Sabbath schooling is a concept that Misty Winkler, and other people have done it too. Misty would not say she is the inventor of this concept, but she's the one who wrote about it, and I learned about it from her. But basically, it's 7 weeks on, 1 week off. We do not do Sabbath schooling. It actually doesn't work for us. And so I use something that I like to call, I tried to do it for a couple of years. and it just really didn't work. And so I do something that I call the magic number technique. And so I figure out what my magic number is for each month of the school year. So I take the number of days I want to do, and I divide it by the number of months that I'm going to do school. And in my case, it was 170 days divided by 10 months. And I came up with a magic number of 17. And so our goal is to hit 17, an average of 17 days a month. Now, December, we won't make that. But August, September, October, I have my little thing right here. In my teacher planner, I actually have a page where I have it planned out, and I will show you guys. Where I've actually planned that out. So you can see I did the math up here, and here's my magic number, and I've gone through the months and hit the days that I think I'm going to be doing school for that month and the days I think I'm going to be off, and I've written my magic number at the top, and I'm shooting to hit that. And then on the days that it's just got to all work out in the end. And then if we get to May and we're a few days short on our magic number, we can actually we've got a couple weeks there we can go past the end. And so I don't do Sabbath schooling, but there are a lot. Anything that you see underlined in orange here are days that I'm planning on taking off, including every Friday in February, just because I can do it. So Sabbath schooling is something very good you could do, but you could also do something like that as well. Oh, we're getting some things, some news about transitioning from print to cursive. There's some great comments there. I do like the Good and the Beautiful Handwriting. We did use the cursive joke book last year. My daughter liked it, but she's also liking the other one as well. So, okay. So I also wanted to show you today. So that's my tip about starting school. Don't start on a Monday, and don't start with a full load. So that's actually 2 tips. I wanted to show you one of the things I put together this week. So we're using the little planners. They're like the happy planners. What do they call them? They're not ring bound. I can't remember the name of it. I hate that. We're using those this year for our planners, and we're using the student planners from the website. So this is one of the cover variations of our student planners, and then here's another cover variation that's a different color, and then we have some that are a little more masculine, if you have somebody who would like a masculine cover as well. Actually, you can see the gears here on the top, and then we have one other variation. We have 4 variations of this student planner. I was trying to show you. Oh, here it is, with the wood grain on it. So I actually put this together for my daughter, and we have on the back of the cover, I laminated in her calendar, and then I put some blank calendar pages in here that she's going to be able to fill out for herself. And then in her to-do section, we actually have some of the, sorry, it's backwards. We have some checklists for her, some weekly checklists in there. We have a place for her to write her assignments and to plan out any big projects that she's going to be doing for co-op. So there's her project planner. And then we have a place for her to keep lists of books she's read. And then just a section in the back. These are some note pages that came pre-punched with this ARC binder kit, which is what I'm using. And so I put all of this together and bound it, laminated the front and the back cover, and I was able to put together a little student planner for her to use. And normally what we would do is she would, in that to-do section, in that grid, she would write in all of the things, and this is a process. So I say she would do it. The first part of the year, I'm going to be doing it, but then later we'll sit together and she's going to learn to write in and fill out that grid and take her assignments from the assignment sheet and put them into the daily grid of when she's going to do it, and work from that list. So today, we didn't use that because, you know, it's a whole sheet for an entire week, and I didn't want to use it just for the 2 days we're doing school this week. And so today I actually put her work on an index card. I didn't bring it upstairs with me, but I actually just put her work on a little index card and clipped it to the front of her binder. And God bless her, she sat down and she says, "Oh, I really like this new list," because, you know, it was an index card, so it wasn't a very big list today. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not the list you're going to get for the entire year." So that was a lot of fun. All right, I'm checking for a couple more questions. At what age have you transitioned your kids to independent planners? Martha wants to know. This is it. This year, I am taking my 7th grader and I'm transitioning her. I'm going to be working with my 5th grader on it as well. I'm going to expect more progress out of the 7th grader than I do the 5th grader. And so it very well could be that I am working longer with that 5th grader on making that. And we may not get there by the end of the year. So this is a process. This is something that's going to take a while, and we're going to start with one subject, walking them through day by day and moving them into doing that. And I think some personalities with kids would move forward a lot faster. For example, my really good friend Jessica has a 5th grade girl, very strong in language skills, oldest child, very organized, unlike my oldest girl child, and she could probably sit and do her own planner right now. And she's a couple years younger than my girl, but my girl her personality is different. She's very creative, and organization is not her strong suit. So it's going to take her a little longer, and she's going to struggle with it a little more. And that's okay, because she's got great creativity. So we're just going to teach her the skills she needs and move her forward. So this year, Martha, to answer your question. Yeah, Emily's saying she has some that work really well with the list and some that need more help. Yeah, there's some great ideas in the comments, so you guys be sure to check these out. I really hate not having the questions pop up on the screen. I'm sorry. Okay, so lots of good stuff. So I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties, and I didn't feel like I could talk to you as we were doing this one, and I had to kind of look over here a lot of the time. But yeah, so consider starting towards the end of the week, even if you started on a Wednesday. But, you know, give yourself 2 to 3 days to give yourself a little consistency, and then jump into it, ramp up, and go from there. So I have a pug on the loose. He's coming up the stairs. He's not supposed to be on the carpeted part at all, and here he comes. So I'm going to go chase the pug, and you guys have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.